Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Governor Sanders is asking for more federal disaster aid for 13 Arkansas counties. This comes after that ice storm hit the state this past January and February. Officials say some of the budget devoted to cleaning up went toward maintenance. The aid will help with getting things back on track.
We may have a little bit of money to continue to clean up and to do some of the maintenance that we actually had used maintenance money on to do cleanups.
Well, officials in Cleveland County say with the manpower they have right now, added with the amount of issues, it's going to be until at least the fall before they're done cleaning up. Well, before we get to other news where you live, let's get a check of the weather where you live with meteorologist Stephen Elmore. Stephen, rain headed our way.
Yeah, yellow weather alert day for today because we're expecting the risk for some flooding overnight tonight heading into Friday morning, but we cannot rule out the fact that we may see some hail cores and we may see some of those strong wind gusts heading into this evening. So let's break down when and where we're going to see that rainfall. Starting around lunchtime today is when we're going to initially start to see those scattered showers across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. As we continue on throughout the rest of the day, it's just going to be those scattered showers. It's not until the evening hours is when those thunderstorms start to fire up, mainly across northwest Arkansas. You see the River Valley pretty clear heading into the evening hours tonight. It's not until the early morning hours heading into Friday morning is when the River Valley is going to start to see those showers once again. Across northwest Arkansas, again, we're going to see some of those chances for some thunderstorms heading into late this evening. Then as we go into Friday morning, that's when 2 rounds of some heavy downpours are moving through the River Valley. We're going to have the greatest flood potential across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley heading into early on Friday morning. That rainfall is going to continue throughout much of the day on Friday, not coming into an end until we get into Friday evening. So here's our risks of what we've got heading into this evening and into Friday. Again, flooding risk is going to be our main concern. The reminder not to turn around and not drown, as you don't want to even attempt to drive through those flood waters if you're driving on the roads tonight. Hail and gusty winds are potential once we cross over that 60-mile-an-hour mark. That's when we'll start to get those severe thunderstorm warnings, and this is a long system going about 24 hours from Thursday evening to Friday evening. That risk for tonight, again, mainly across northwest Arkansas, but the River Valley is included in that as well with that level 1 risk. Taking a look at Friday morning, the River Valley has that level 1 and level 2 risk heading into just for Friday morning. Here's our storm threats heading into tonight. Again, flood chances are going to be our main concern with so much water expected tonight, and we can't rule out hail and strong wind gusts in the forecast throughout the rest of the evening.
All right, thanks so much, Stephen. Well, there is a new warning from the DEA on the dangers of fentanyl mixed with a drug used by veterinarians. The DEA says drug traffickers use it to intensify the opioid high for longer periods of time. 5 News reporter Rachel Williams has more on the severe dangers.
It increases respiratory depression and actually can cause very severe skin infections and sometimes resulting in amputation of the arms and legs.
The DEA says it sees xylazine and fentanyl mixtures in 48 states, including Arkansas and Oklahoma.
In the last couple years, we've seen xylazine appear through different lab testing and testing subsequent to submitting fentanyl, heroin, and other illicit drugs to the crime lab and or the DEA lab. We are seeing this xylazine used as a cutting agent or an adulterant, actually, to some of these other drugs.
The biggest concern is not only does it prolong the opioid high, but it's much cheaper to buy. The CDC reports more than 100,000 Americans died between August 2021 to August 2022 from drug poisoning, with 66% of those deaths involving opioids like fentanyl.
And the concerns are that it's definitely, every major city in America pretty much on the east and west coast has it. So, just like fentanyl, it's only sadly a matter of time, I would imagine. And it's, and of course, it's something that we've, put our, own money, heart and soul and time into, and combating that with the Narcan, and the fact that there's something now that these same opiate addicts supposedly are taking this non-opiate drug that you can't combat with Narcan.
Because xylazine is not an opioid, naloxone does not reverse its effects.
We're finding xylazine also along with fentanyl and heroin, so it will still reverse the effects of the fentanyl and heroin, which could essentially save lives.
But experts still suggest using Narcan if someone is suffering from drug poisoning.
Well, the DEA also says it's working to get that drug scheduled under the Controlled Substance Act to prevent people from buying it online. And in other news, a 20-year-old Bentonville man is arrested in Boston for having guns in his car he said he legally bought in Arkansas. Massachusetts State Police say Tavian Chamberlain was in Boston to deliver puppies to some buyers when he was pulled over. He told officers he was armed for protection. They say they found 4 guns and 3 large capacity magazines in his car, along with several dogs. He also told police he bought the guns at a gun show in Arkansas, going on to tell them the guns weren't registered to him and that it is legal in Arkansas to carry a gun without a license to carry. Chamberlain was charged with several counts of gun and ammunition possession, including charges related to improperly storing the weapons. And with March Madness still going on, the Oklahoma House gave the okay for legislation legalizing sports betting in the state. The new legislation would potentially bring in over $9 million a year to the Sooner State and adds in-person and mobile sports betting as a supplement to the state tribal model gaming compact. That deal would only bring in a percentage of gaming revenue to the state. The bill now goes to the Senate for approval and, if approved, back to the House for final approval. And online sports betting already made legal in Arkansas last year, and as of last year, the state reported around $122 million was wagered through casino apps. It brought in more than $2.5 million in tax revenue. Well, the Razorback men's basketball team have a big game tonight. They're taking on the University of Connecticut, but the Hogs aren't the only ones who are in Las Vegas right now. Our very own sports team are out there getting you ready for tonight's big Hogs game.
Good morning from Las Vegas, Nevada, or as this week we're affectionately calling Hog Vegas. 8-seeded Arkansas in the West region set to take on the 4-seeded UConn Huskies right here at T-Mobile Arena in Hog Vegas. And in a city known for its heavyweight prize fights, we have a battle of heavyweights in the West region. On the other side of this bracket, you have Gonzaga and UCLA, 2 teams that have been in the last 2 Final Fours. UConn here in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2014, the last time that it won the national title. And then you have Arkansas in 3 consecutive Sweet 16s for the first time since the mid-90s. In that mid-90s run under Nolan Richardson was the last time that Arkansas both made a Final Four and won a national championship. The Hogs are hoping that it feels like '94 and that they can pick up 2 wins right here in Las Vegas to make a trip to Houston for another Final Four. But that all starts with picking up a win today against the UConn Huskies.
Guys have played well through 2 games. I think they're excited to play an excellent UConn team. And, we had a good practice yesterday, a good practice today. Guys are in good spirits and looking forward to competing tomorrow.
Tip-off today set for 6:15 Central Time right here on Channel 5. Jacob and I will have all your live coverage throughout the day leading up to the tip-off in this huge matchup. Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Jonathan Acosta, 5 News Sports.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. Well, that's your news and weather for the day. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. Have a great day.